Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Ronnie B, and I want to welcome you to Living Wealthy, Beyond Well-Being. The fun begins. Now, tonight is session one of our seminar series where we'll be looking at Beyond Well-Being. The fun begins, the occurring world of well-being. Now, we're going to have a deep inquiry into the occurring world and specifically beyond well-being, the occurring world. We're also uh, doing something really special. We have a guest tonight for Going Beyond, and which will be a two-part interview with Russell Forsyth, a champion for humanity. And finally, we'll wrap up our conversation this evening with being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. Now, we thank you for taking the time to participate in this series. We are honored. The Prosperous Divas are committed. We make a difference at the root level for women living lives that honor their dignity and the divine gift they are to humanity. Our conversations are dignified and honor the myriad of challenges faced by women and those supporting women in having the locus of lack and discrimination banished to the annals of time now and forevermore. Now, if you are a single mom struggling to make ends meet, this is a conversation for you. If you are doing the job and being paid less than you deserve or what your male counterparts make, this conversation is for you. If you have success and you are building and expanding, you know it's time for you to grow. This conversation is for you. If you are tired of being superwoman and want the sweet, sweet freedom to be yourself, this conversation is for you. If you are the kind of person who thrives on learning beyond what is needed to make money, this conversation is for you. If you don't know how you're going to get cereal to feed the kids, yet you know you will, and you see a brighter day one day, someday, this conversation is for you. The prosperous divas are a unique team of ladies who operate at an extremely high level of integrity. They have demonstrated in words and deeds the difference they choose to make in empowering women in every part of the world. What has the divas stand out in presenting our content or any content is their willingness to share and be completely vulnerable, which has them be truly authentic, courageous, and loving, filled with possibility. Now, I have a quote to share that will empower us and creating a space for breakthroughs. Only through the eyes of love can a connection be held as sacred. The human incarnation represents the analogy of climbing a ladder. As each person elevates their conscious awareness, they awaken to the greater meaning of life and illuminate the true nature of their existence. If one can learn the lessons of love, speak the language of love, express love, and live a life with some level of commitment to love, they can effectively communicate in any relationship. What did you hear in the quote? Were you moved, perhaps touched, or inspired? Did a tiny little bit of cynicism sneak into your listening? It's okay. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Only through the eyes of love can a connection be held as sacred. The human incarnation represents the analogy of climbing a ladder. As each person elevates their conscious awareness, they awaken to the greater meaning of life and illuminate the true nature of their existence. If one can learn the lessons of love, speak the language of love, express love, and live a life with some level of commitment to love, they can effectively communicate in any relationship. The quote was written by our guest, Russell Forsyth, who you will learn more about during the interview. Now, you can sneak a peek at russellforsyth.com. Russell has developed a mastery in having people connect and generate energy that has them live lives beyond well being and uses his mastery to make a difference for all people. Russell is a champion for humanity. Now, I am excited about our seminar and this series. Thank you again for being here. One of my favorite divas, Diva Robin. Over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about tonight as well. And I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for session number 1 of Living Wealthy Beyond Well-Being. The fun begins. The prosperous divas leading this seminar are Narcisse Nikki Taplin, Nakia Franklin, the Princess of Faith, Jackie Brown, guest diva Janice Hollis, if she can make it. And tonight she's traveling the world. And tonight we want to thank our special guest, Russell Forsyth. Welcome, Russell. So glad you can join us.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here with Ronnie and the rest of the divas and have been really looking forward to connecting with you tonight.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited that you're here. The intention of this seminar is for each and every one of us to create breakthroughs in our ability to create breakthroughs for living wealthy and specifically going beyond well-being. Beyond well-being. What is beyond well-being? We're out to discover that. Tonight, we invite you to listen powerfully for what is needed and desired for you to have a breakthrough in being whole and complete, honoring your word as yourself, as an access to going beyond well-being. Before we get started, thank you for the super tremendous amount of sharing from our last seminar series, Living Wealthy, the Basics, Money and Freedom. Here are a few of the messages that we received from you, and we will comment at the end. And in these messages, there are some glowing ones and one not so glowing one, which you will know when it happens. And the first one is glowing, and this one is from Cherie Morales in Memphis, Tennessee. Diva Janice, I love your clinical objectivity. You bring strong credibility to a conversation people like me complicate. A lot of what you say during the course, in retrospect, seems like common sense. What I realized is I have a way of complicating things as common sense sounds too simplistic. Note, I didn't say simple. I must complicate things. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. My conviction is I'm complicated. Good insight, right? I started seeing where I complicate all sorts of decisions and how it has others think I'm indecisive. This is great. I need more things that are simple in my life and less complicated. Beautiful, right? The second message is from Bernadette Washington from Surf City, Texas. I didn't know they had surfing in Texas.
Yeah.
The beach bank blanket bingo.
from Bernadette. The occurring world stuff you try to this is the one. This is the fun one. So let me just make a note here that I am going to substitute some of the words, but I think you'll know which words she was using if you're an adult. The occurring world stuff you try to lay on people is a forking mind game. How do you like that?
That's nice.
You botch
That's nice.
You botches come off like you know some shirt. When you start selling, check this out. When you start selling the home-based business, when do you start selling the home-based business BS? I tell everybody, don't waste your time on the touchy-feely crap the so-called prosperous divas are trying to lay on you. You need to get a life. So that was from Bernadette. Sorry, Bernadette. I had to change some of your words.
Surf City.
The next one is from Staff Sergeant Misty Tanner. And I remember that we have heard from Misty before, so it's really nice to hear from you again, Misty, from somewhere, Germany. God bless you, Diva Nikki. It touches my heart knowing a veteran is a prosperous diva. I love your energy and passion. You demonstrate the versatility and diverseness we females in the military prove every day doing our jobs. I would love to be trained in the techniques used in your course. They are very powerful and connect with people right away.
Oh.
Yeah, great job, Nikki. Jennifer Stone of St. Clair, Wisconsin. Now, Goddess Robin, I found myself being resentful when I would hear you speak about your relationship. Good for you. You lucked up and got a husband who worships your every mood. Not quite, but here on planet Earth, things were a little different for us real people. But the more I listened, the more I started hearing how you saw things about yourself, and you were willing to confront those things. I have been blaming my husband instead of focusing on my part of the relationship. He's all bad and I'm all good, the innocent victim. Maybe if I act like I really appreciate him for working 2 shifts and never complaining about eating spaghetti 3 days in a row for dinner, I might get a little worship. Thank you, Diva Robin. Wow. From Sasha Mentz, Toronto, Canada. I love this. I love me some Diva Jacqueline. She has that deep, seductive voice when she makes her point. It's like, bam, upside your head. I would love to be as courageous and outgoing. I started realizing I'm just plain scared someone is going to hurt my feelings. I am going to keep listening to her. Maybe I will find the courage I need. Beautiful. From Sua, I hope I'm saying this right, from Sua Nawalati, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I was skeptical of this new language you're teaching us and wondered if it was something for me or was this proselytizing Judeo-Christian views. Each week, as I would do the work and listen to the words of the Empress of Faith, it became clear she is a Christian, yet She was able to put aside and speak to the larger spirit of being human. We need more angels like her in the world who can speak to people of many faiths. Many blessings to the Divas and Ronnie B. Wow. So, let me check in with the team and see if they would like to comment and share. Diva Nikki, will you start?
Sure. By the way, you did an awesome job on bringing us in and reading the emails. So, I'm going to start with Sherry, and I hope I got that right. I agree. I love that Janice brings in her business and her optimism side about things. But I love that you saw yourself in the complication and the simplicity of things, and you got what you needed for yourself. So I love that. Thank you for writing in. Miss Bernadette in Surf City. Thank you for telling us how you really feel. I just want to say that we here at the Prosperous Divas, we welcome everyone, but we also know that our courses are not for everyone. So we wish you continued blessing and prosperity in every area of your life, on this course, other courses, just on your own course of life. But thank you so much for your feedback. And for Staff Sergeant Misty, girl, yes, I'm over here repping us the best like we do it. Thank you for chiming in with us. Love working with the Divas, and they all help make it easy for me as well, working with them as a vet. So thank you. And also, I salute you, Staff Sergeant. Jennifer, yes, honey, I can understand how you would get envious of Miss Robin. Okay, because she does make it sound lovely over here. So, but yes, Miss Robin, you do good. You own a relationship, girl. You own it. And thank you. So I can understand how someone will be envious. However, I'm glad that you also found the time and the way to appreciate your own husband so that you too can have that same love and honor that Robin just experienced on a regular basis. Robin, continue to share, honey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tasha, yes, you're welcome. Tasha, all the way over there in Toronto in Canada. Yes, Diva Jacqueline has that upside your head, seductive, deep voice. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a T-Buzz. Yes, keep chiming in, and that courage is inside of you. And maybe our special guest tonight can help you tap into that a little bit deeper, Mr. Russell. Now, Saudi Arabia, I'm not going to try to butcher your name, honey. That's not prosperous in any kind of format. So once again, thank you for chiming in. And yes, with Prosperous Divas, it really doesn't matter what your faith is, because we're all created in the same manner of divinity. We're all open. The universe has something for absolutely all of us across the board. And I'm glad that you were able to catch that. I agree. Princess of Faith, Empress of Faith, Nakia does a wonderful job of bringing it all together. Nakia? So, to my other Prosperous Divas and Ronnie B, thank you for this platform and for giving our guests, helping me to give our guests what we give them. Diva Janice is not here. I'm done.
Yes. Thank you for bringing your love and beauty to the responses, Diva Nikki. You're always inspiring.
Oh, thank you, huh? Y'all make it so easy.
I think our guest, Russell, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Well, I would say if you don't ruffle some feathers, you're not really doing your job. So I think it's good that people had the courage to give you these comments and talk about specifically how you helped in their own transformation, even if it didn't seem totally appreciated by all. And
Yeah.
and I also think it took courage to read that in this webinar tonight. So I was happy that you shared all the comments, and I would say all of them indicated some form of transformation occurring.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh.
Beautiful, beautiful. Diva Jackie, what you got, girl? Oh,
Okay.
she cut Diva Jackie?
Huh.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do a quick check. Did we get did Diva Janice sneak in on stealth?
I'm here. I've been
Oh.
listening to everything.
Oh,
Oh,
I
yay.
knew that. See, I
Hi,
knew I heard the voice.
Thank you.
Yay.
My family, my
Uh-huh.
family. I'm
Did
Yeah.
you get a chance to know these messages, Diva Janice?
Yes, I did.
All right. Would you
Share.
like to comment? I
Oh, most
apologize for
certainly.
skipping. I thought you weren't here yet, sweetie.
No, I'm definitely here,
I can
and
tell.
yes, I would like to comment on Miss Cheryl from Memphis, Tennessee. And first of all, I'd like to thank her for recognizing that we bring a different perspective in terms of how we process our path in life, and that's important. And when she said that she learned that she was overcomplicating things, most people overcomplicate things because the greatest things are so simple. We just need to get up and do the work. We just need to show up and have the meeting that is so important in life, and that's the first meeting that we have with ourselves. And who resonated the most with me is Miss Bernadette Washington from Surf City, Texas.
You've been to Surf City,
Listen,
Texas?
I love Texas. I've never been to Surf City, Texas.
Oh.
So Miss Bernadette Washington, perhaps you're going to be my host sometime in 2019 when I come to Surf City, Texas, because this is what I'm going to say to you and share with you. I love your honesty. You're being authentic about where you were and how you felt about what we share. But what I also want to share is the hard work that we put in. We are burdened. We cry through our processes. We are getting through our disappointments just like everybody else. And when we come off as having answers, there are some things we've figured out. Now, many of us, we have degrees in various disciplines, but at the end of the day, we keep showing up for life. There is no fluff piece about what we're doing on the show. None. We're hurting. We're disappointed. We're pissed off about a number of things. But we keep showing up. And you know what? We keep loving. And I'm not inferring that you're not. But I know what the core theme of the show is. At the end of the day, you still have to be authentic. But you've got to make positive strides happen. And let me just say this, and I'll end it here. Change hurt. To grow hurt. It means that we get out of the way, which simply says we've let go of our ego where we've etched God out. We get it. We get all of your expletives. We understand your frustration. But we are women who are trying to just put our best foot forward and make positive strategy happen. Because we all have a limited time on this side. We're as vapor. We're here today, gone tomorrow. There's nothing pretentious about this group. I, as a licensed psychologist, can tell you firsthand, I appreciate what these women bring to the table every time we're on this radio program, and everybody is sharing from their heart, good, bad, or indifferent. We're all in this thing together, and you don't get there being isolated. And I'm getting ready to wrap this up because we all help each other develop. So if you don't have anybody in your sphere challenging you to get past your funky days, getting past your grandiose moments where you can continue to matter on the next day, that's a sad commentary. Because real friends and true friends love you enough to tell you the truth and support you through your transformation. This is what I gather from the Prosperous Divas. Some are in California, some are in Texas. I'm not sure where everybody is situated, but collectively. Oh, of course, we got Ronnie B. God forbid that we got to have this man in the midst of us, but it says something. Ronnie, it says something, but it's beautiful. And whatever you're going through, these ladies are saying, and I'm saying, we get it. We're hurting too, but we're putting our best foot forward to make positive strategy happen. Why? We have the power to move the conversation forward. There's no fluff in this. None. We got some screwed up situations. If we really just took the mask off and just had a real table conversation, it wouldn't be fit for this. We wouldn't be fit for this network.
We have enough time.
But we're there with you. We're there with you, Bernadette. Trust me, there's no BS in this game, and we don't have anything to sell other than believe and put the hard work in, because at the end of the day, the universe, and I'll go a step further and say this, God rewards you for being faithful to your gifts and your talents that He divinely deposited into your being for your dispensation. And I would just say this, honey, go be great. And everybody that has ever discounted you, forget about that nonsense and find your true voice. And come back and talk to us, because we're here.
I'll be right here.
Great. That is so great. Thank you.
Wow. Phenomenal, yes.
Well said. Well said.
We're all here.
Now.
We're all going through something. Here.
Yep.
We are here, and you women are doing a phenomenal job. You women are doing a phenomenal job and bringing your relationships, your personal experiences, and sharing it with the masses. And it's beautiful. Just beautiful. I'm done.
Thank you, Diva Janice. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I love what you just shared. And you really speak for all of us.
Thank you.
Is Diva Jackie in the house?
We don't see her on technology, but I do see Diva Nakia.
All right, Diva Nakia. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Miss Diva Nakia. Hey, do you have anything that you'd like to say regarding the messages we got?
I do. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate everyone who is listening, those that wrote in and those that are yet to write in, but those listeners, because they are seeking something. They are seeking a level of transformation in their lives, that something divinely brought them to our show to listen in, whether it's for a moment or whether it's for every series, every seminar, full support, long-lasting support. I honor you and appreciate each and every one of you, and I acknowledge you for your intentions, your efforts, and the work that you're doing in your life, first and foremost. For Ms. Sherry, I'm very analytical, and through transformational work, I've allowed myself and transform that part of me to where I'm not over analytical because I used to be so intense. Everything had to be analyzed to a T. I had to fully understand everything. Before I made a decision, everything had to be broken down to the simplistic form. But everything is not to be understood that way. Everything is not to be broken down that way. Sometimes it is simply what it is. And I accept it and I move on. So I get where you are, and I know through your transformational experiences that will not be so complicated, Miss. I'm not complicated. Okay? So, Staff Sergeant Tanner, I think you are right on point. I honor all veterans, and I know that my dear Nikki is a prime example of a prosperous diva and what it takes to do the work and really make life happen for you and anyone else. And Jennifer Stone, whew, honey, we all want a husband. Like God is Robin. But it takes work. It takes work.
And so you shall have it.
It takes really stepping out of oneself and not making the other person wrong, but being over there with them, out here with them, in order for you to really grasp hold to the differences that you have so you can appreciate it, the things that you have in common so you can appreciate it. And it's just about communication and really seeing oneself for who you are and being accepting of the loving and amazing and awesome and wonderful person that you are, and how lucky he is to have you, and how lucky and blessed you are to have him. So it's not over. Just keep on hanging in there. And spaghetti can be good, even leftover. It just spices it up that much more. So, Sasha, Diva Jacqueline, be on point. Yes, indeed. She is a firecracker. So, yeah, it's good sometimes to have your head bam, you get bammed upside your head, if you say. And we are all courageous and we are all outgoing in our own way, at our own level. You haven't just revealed that to yourself enough. But people out in the world see what we don't see for ourselves. So don't stop striving. Keep up the good work and always stay encouraged. And Suha, and I love the way you said her last name. I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
I always like to go for it.
Hey, I'm all right. So much for doing the work and listening to all of us. Yes, I am the Empress of Faith. Yes, I have to stand on faith, but I also know that I am a human being. I'm flawed. I'm so imperfect. I try, and like David, I'm after God's own heart. However, he may have done a much better job than me. Nevertheless, I love being able to be a part of the world and a contribution to the communities and a contribution to the world, no matter where you are, Saudi Arabia, Texas, California, New Zealand, anywhere and everywhere around the world. And it's about being honest and being able to communicate with people of all walks of life, all levels of life, because we're all human beings, and we're all just being human, and we all shed blood. So much love. Thank you so very much. And last but not least, I, too, will speak to Miss Bernadette Washington of Surf City, Texas. Girl, get your life. Sometimes when we look in the mirror, we see things that we don't agree with. Because, no, us bitches don't necessarily come off like we know this shit. It's just simply we know what we know. And we know what we don't know that we know. And there are things we simply have no idea whether we know about it or not. Is that God divinely put things within us to speak when it's time to speak. And we're here to contribute to the world. And I appreciate you telling your friends not to feel, not to waste time on the touchy-feely crap the so-called prosperous divas are trying to lay on them, because what you did was you gave them the motivation to go out and seek us out and say, well, what is it about these prosperous divas that she don't like? Because there may be that they get, and there may be something
yeah.
that is so reflective of what it is that's confrontational to you that you are not yet ready to be transformed in that area of your life. But I'm just saying, I definitely wish that you come back and give us more feedback. And as you go along the journey and as your life continue to transform and as you allow yourself to continue to confront those areas of your life that are sensitive to you, come back and let us know how your transformation went. Because it's not about change, it's about transforming. And that comes with time, because you did not become the person that you are today overnight. And we all go through things, and we're all sensitive about our insecurities, about who we are in some areas. However, we overcome that and we conquer that, because we're here to be a contribution to everybody. It's not about us. If it was about us, we would constantly cower down. We wouldn't speak up. We wouldn't be transparent. We wouldn't let the world know about our stank, about our stuff, about our junk.
Our pain.
Our pain, our suffering, our losses, the things that...
Our embarrassment.
Yeah, that we feel like we have been wronged by, no matter who it is in life, no matter what the situation or circumstance is. We're here to love on you just the way you are, and you are perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong. And I applaud you for your communication. I applaud you for reaching out. I applaud you for your stand, as I do all women and all men and all persons who contribute to us just as much as we are there to contribute to you. So much love. And as we get our life, get your life too.
Amen to that.
Clutch my little pearl.
So I want to thank all of you for sharing your feedback with us. It is appreciated. What I see for myself and the Prosperous Divas community is how fortunate I am, and I'm even going to go on to say how fortunate we all are to be part of this group of powerful, loving divas and Ronnie B, who have a commitment to make a difference with our lives, even when it's messy. And what I see from what was shared is that the work we do here really happens in our partnership with you who are listening, in the work that you do that we offer you as an opportunity, and that how much you get from it is completely a function of your openness and your willingness to use what we say to look at yourself and your life. And it is completely possible to get nothing from it, and even for it to be a source of upset. And it's possible for the work we do to provide you with what it takes to have a life beyond your dreams. I also want to thank just a couple of you in particular. One is I really appreciate Jennifer. When I started reading the first couple of lines of what you wrote, I really looked at whether I speak about my relationship in a arrogant way or like it's perfect with no work. And I love what you discovered for yourself, that you didn't make a judgment and then just shut the door when you were irritated. You really looked. And I'm reminded of a quote by author Ken Keyes, where he wrote that there are two types of experiences: the ones you enjoy and the ones you learn from. And I want you to know that I spent a lot of time learning, especially in my previous relationships. And still, my husband and I both use all the distinctions that we at the Prosperous Divas talk about. And yeah, I get to reap the rewards, and I can see that you're on the verge of that too. And I look forward to what you write next, because I bet it's going to be a huge breakthrough beyond even what you've already said. And then Miss Bernadette, who's getting so much attention today, deservedly so. I just want to say that anger, and you sound angry, is a very high space in terms of what's possible in life. It's way beyond resignation. I would be worried about you if you sounded like Eeyore the donkey. Maybe too early for you guys from Winnie the Pooh. It's like, oh well. And I love your fire and your spirit. And I also just want to share with you an expression I recall, that the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And if you hang in there, dear Bernadette, I predict that a breakthrough is in store for you beyond what you thought possible. The angrier you are, the bigger the transformation. When the anger disappears and you get in touch with your own magnificence. So that's what I have to say. And now we are going to start our first inquiry for the day, for the evening, and that is on the occurring world of well-being, led by Diva Jackie.
No,
Diva,
looks like we got Diva Nikki.
Diva Nikki. Yay!
Well, I will.
So sorry, Diva Nikki. Over to you, dear heart.
No, it is okay. I'm filling in for our lovely Diva Jackie. So, the current world beyond well-being. What do you hear when we say occurring world beyond well-being? Do you hear great conversation? But I have diabetes. I'm HIV positive. I have high blood pressure. I have cancer. I can't go beyond well-being unless a miracle cures me. Do you hear? I wasted a lot of money on that gym membership. Clear throat. Do you hear? Enter what I ate today into my new fitness app, and it just sent an ambulance to my house. Or my well-being will be handled when my bills are paid. Do you hear? I exercise and eat right, but I want to go to the next level spiritually, mentally, and physically. I want to expand myself holistically. Whatever you hear or whatever feelings, emotions you are present to is totally what? Perfect. You are perfect. And wherever you are in this conversation is perfect. Whatever you hear or whatever your feelings, emotions you are present to is totally perfect. You're perfect. And wherever you are in this conversation again is perfect. You are here in this conversation to make a difference and having your power fully expressed in an area of life important to you. And that is all that matters. That is why we promise you will get value if you participate. If you participate halfway, a little bit. No, participate fully. What do we mean when we say the current world beyond well-being? Here's the context. The current world is not physical. I repeat, the current future is not physical. The current world is not physical. The current world is the combination of conversations we have about the physical or real world that gives us our experience of life or how we are living life. The current world is the context or framework from which we experience our life. It is either empowering our ability to have and experience the fulfillment of our desire, or it is disempowering our ability to have and experience the fulfillment of our desire. For this inquiry, we're going to distinguish the future of living beyond well-being as a conversation. The degree we have conversations for the future of living beyond well-being is the degree we experience the manifestations of that future moment by moment. We experience the future of living, beyond well-being from conversations we choose to generate for having a future of living beyond well-being, experienced, expressed, and producing results in our lives. Are you ready for a bold statement? Here it is. Your actions for living beyond well-being in the present are based on the future you have created for living beyond well-being, not your past. If the past is dictating your actions in the present for living beyond well-being, there is something inauthentic hidden from your view. You have the power to create the future anytime, under any circumstances, because of the power in your words. Your words impact you, your environment, your community, the world. The listening that is already there impacts your actions in the present. If the listening that is already there is based on the past, new opportunities for possibility and openings for action appear as problems or issues from the past, or even worse, past ways of resolving the issues are employed that no longer work. When it comes to creating a future of living wealthy beyond well-being, are you having conversations that limit you from the past, or conversations that have been created standing from the future? We are going to begin an exercise that will start the process of revealing conversations, either in your speaking or listening, that are sabotaging your future of living wealthy beyond well-being. And here we go. It is the clearing exercise. So, we have a little exercise intended to empower you in clearing the space for you to begin creating a future of living wealthy beyond well-being. Create, notice I said create and not write. Create the following categories: self-expression, wholeness, prosperity. Under each category, answer this question: what do I desire that I do not have, or is not at the level of fulfillment I seek? Next to each item, write 3 conversations or actions you take that consistently keep the results you desire in that area from being fulfilled. Example: prosperity. Desire to have the money needed to retire comfortably. Conversations: I know I should be working to bring in more money. I just need to find the right thing. Problem: I never do the work to find the right thing and take action to see if it is the right thing for me. Here's another: I could have the money to retire, but I don't have the money right now to do what it would take to save or invest. Problem, I never have the money to save or invest. I create an issue about what I don't have instead of creating a solution. Another, I could have the money to retire, but it will have to wait until I can get the time. Man, I'm swamped. Problem, I never have the time, and I will not do what it takes to create time or look at where I'm spending my time. Don't worry about fixing anything, okay? We want you to be present to what you wrote and what you're writing, which I know some of y'all are thinking, I'm still writing. Note if there are any persistent complaints or listening from past conversations, even the recent past, that are limitations. Keep working on this exercise during the week. And if you have any questions or need or desire coaching, email us at divas@prosperousdivas.com. Be prepared to bring the list to the next session and share what doing the list has revealed. This has been a powerful segment. Before we take our break, we have one more email for you from Loretta Wilson out in Green Bay, Wisconsin. First of all, Loretta, thank you for having a name that could just roll off my tongue like that. Thank you, Mama. Greetings, Divas. Thank you for the feedback and sharing from my email. I have some great news. Woo, love that. But I wanted to clear something up first. When I was 8, I was caught kissing a boy in the cloakroom, and the entire class laughed at us. And I remember saying to myself, I must be funny, which became my conviction. And I started being a class clown. I always kept people laughing, even when it didn't work for me or the situation. Unfortunately, given the response from the Divas, I think I left them thinking I had issues about my sexuality or suffered in relations because I was emotionally harmed from kissing the boy and being laughed at. That was not my point, Diva Robin. Got it right. Everybody loves me because I have a great sense of humor. The problem is I couldn't turn it off and didn't understand where it came from. Getting that the source of most of my issues was that conviction gave me a freedom I didn't know was possible. Yay! The man I love, who I was about to jokingly push away, got a surprise. I told him I loved him and I was serious. I told him if he would marry me, and sometimes I could be funny when it wasn't appropriate. If he would marry me when he needed someone to be serious and I might have a brain fart and make a joke, that maybe I should tell you the truth. I would love to be your wife. No kidding, no jokes. He looked at me. He had saw a ghost, and I was about to say something stupid, but I bit my lip and said nothing. He just burst out with a big smile and said, before you change your mind, I want this on tape. And we both started laughing. We got the ring. He took me to a fancy restaurant. He did the bended knee thing, and I didn't make any jokes. I let him, I love this. I let him love me and be romantic. It was the best evening of my life. I can't say how much I thank you. Please keep doing this amazing work. I'm not joking. Thank you, Loretta. Let's hear from Diva Robin and our guest, Russell.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. That was absolutely the best story, honest to God. Thank goodness she didn't laugh when he was proposing.
I could see her biting her tongue, biting her lip.
Well, my husband thought I went. My husband proposed to me when we were in Niagara Falls, and he thought that's why I wanted. He had a business trip, and he thought that's why I wanted to go there so he could propose. But really, I just wanted to go. I just wanted to go, and
20 years later.
but he proposed to me in the freezing cold at Niagara Falls.
Wow.
And I mean, and we knew we were getting engaged. That, we already had the ring, we had picked it out. So it wasn't, we knew. But we were like on this kind of a deck thing out over Niagara Falls, bundled up. Like I looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy in all these clothes, and I'm standing there, and he goes, "Take off your glove." And he takes off the glove off my right hand. And he goes down on his knee, and he asked me, will I marry him? And I said, and all these people were standing around at this point. They saw it, And I said, well, yes, but that's my right hand. Anyway, so Loretta, I would like to say that, well, I would like to say how moved I am by what you shared, and congratulations. The man that you're about to marry is a very lucky man.
Yeah.
I want you to really get that. He is getting you. And you are a woman who is committed to love, authenticity, and growing. That's so important in a relationship, being willing to grow. And as for you, bravo for choosing someone who loves all of you. He knows you're funny. He knows you might slip, and you even warned him. That is like half the battle right there. And it's so before I found my beloved husband, I was sharing with a very dear friend about the fact that I wanted to find my life partner. And I remember her looking me right in the eye and saying, Robin, wouldn't it be great if you could find someone who loves you with all of your quirks? And believe me, I have quirks. And like you, I lucked out and found somebody who was fine with them. And also, I want to say that one of the things I most enjoy about my husband is his quick wit, his ability to make me laugh. So, yeah, it's great to be responsible for the fact that your default mode, your automatic mode, is to crack a joke. But believe me, there are going to be plenty of times when that comes in handy. And if you're ever inappropriately funny, like could happen, then you can certainly backtrack. You can certainly say, "Oops, you got a guy who loves all of you. Way to go." That's it. That's what I had to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your whole engagement story. That was sweet. I'm sure other people, wanted to hear a little bit more, because there's only so much time, only so much that you can say in the time that we have. So every other little bit that we get to add to this puzzle here is nice. So thank you. Russell, do you have anything to share with Loretta?
I think I think you guys pretty much covered it.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to take a 5-minute break. When we return, going beyond the interview with Russell Forsyth. So the time is now 6:05. Let's say 6:06 because it'll be there in a second. 6:06 Central Standard Time. Please return at 6:11.
You cannot possibly be aware of all the things you have to be thankful for. But don't let that stop you from trying. There are many factors that add great value to your life that you'll never know about. You are the beneficiary of thousands of years of cumulative progress. Most of the details of how that progress was made have been lost to history. Yet the benefits of that progress continue to this day and are always growing. Be thankful for all the things you know to be thankful for, and be thankful for all those good things that make life better that you don't even know about. Sure, there are still many difficult problems, challenges, and tragedies. Yet, those negative things occur within an overall context of goodness, possibility, and great opportunity. Gratitude enables you to experience more of that goodness, to access more opportunities. Be thankful and reap the full benefit of good fortune that's been coming your way longer than you can imagine. You're buying me the things I hate. Those 7 months were such a waste. Take a hit, it's not too late. I don't want you here anymore. I don't want you here anymore. No, you're my little vagabond. Stops right here, I don't want you. That time I'll never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. He compliments me so backhanded. I don't need someone like him. I have to deal with my own problems. I don't want you here anymore. I don't want you here anymore. Oh, you're my little vagabond. Stops right here, I don't want you. That time I'll never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. You're my little vagabond. Stops right here, I don't want you. That time I'll never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. You're my little vagabond. Stops right here, I don't want you. That time I'll never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. Love you like, I love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. All right, we have a few minutes before the start of the next segment with the interview. So go ahead and get a glass of water, make yourself nice and comfortable. The next segment uh, is going to be very, very revealing because we had a type of gentleman as our guest who has that revealing type of personality. And and he listened and laughed at my jokes, so you know I like him a lot, a lot. Now I promised the divas that I would not give away any tips during tonight's session during the break. It's really hard because I found a great tip that would make a difference, but they looking at me, no tips. Add them
Sure is.
into add them
Mm-hmm.
into add them into the content. So I think I better let's see. I think I need to go ahead and let's see what's the countdown. I think you folks have about 10 seconds. Oh, you got 5 seconds to settle down, relax, and get ready for the interviews. Diva Nikki, over to you. Oh, I'm sure we had a Diva Nikki somewhere, but Diva Nikki is
No,
probably
I'm
muted.
not here.
I knew she
Ah,
was
that's
muted.
right. That's right. So here we are. Are you ready for going beyond? Part one. Welcome back for Going Beyond. Tonight we are interviewing none other than Russell Forsyth, who is the maestro, master of energy. Russell has experienced the other side of the mountain, the valley, and the mountaintop, and has used those challenges to empower himself and others to see the world in ways that have them turn dreams into reality. Russell's work has touched the lives of people around the globe in connecting to those positive networks of energy that transform health and well-being beyond what is ordinary or acceptable. He is, Russell is a champion for humanity. Before we start the interview, a little food for thought. The world you see. The world you see is mightily affected by the person you are. The quickest and most effective way to live in a better world is to be a better you. Your opinion of life exerts a strong influence on your experience of life. Change your opinion of life, and you immediately see a corresponding change in the way life unfolds. Just because you think something is true doesn't make it true. Yet, from your own point of view, it might as well. Your decisions and preferences depend heavily on your perspective. And those decisions and preferences play a major role in the way your life progresses. What you think about life determines the way you live it, and you get to decide what you think. See a world filled with goodness, with positive possibilities, with joy, love, and fulfillment. See that world and live to make it so. In Going Beyond, Part 1, we will learn about a challenge Russell faced in having his dreams fulfilled, a challenge that knocked the wind out of his sails. Somehow, some way, he kept going and used that challenge to give him strength that has made him successful in every area he chooses to focus his time and energy. And Going Beyond Part 2, Nakia will continue the interview and look at the aha moment that opened Russell's world to transformative energy as a teacher, healer, and coach. Russell will share a couple of practices that will empower you and provide a few insights into what is available from energy coaching. And now, Ronnie B, over to you for the interview.
Thank you, Diva Nikki. And thank you, our most honored guest, Russell Forsyth, for being with us tonight. Welcome to Prosperous Divas Living Wealthy.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, all right, and Russell, I looked at your website and some of the work you did, you do, and had a few conversations with Diva Robin, and she just said that you're just one of the most generous men on the planet. So I just wanted you to get that, and if she says it, I believe it. I believe it. Well,
I
Russell, we're
got a
gonna
side compliment.
okay, we're gonna dive right into the
It's
interview.
true.
Now, Russell, okay, what we're asking is for you to please share an incident or a time in your life that knocked the wind out of your sails when the going got even rougher and you felt like you were lost. Please be as specific as possible so we can truly appreciate what you were experiencing.
Okay, I'll do my best. In the year 2000, I was a carpenter. I was a historic restoration contractor. I was at the top of my game, so to speak. I was doing residential historic renovations in the $1 to $2 million range in Austin,
Oh,
Texas, and just had my life, I thought, pretty well planned out. I'd be retiring out of that field, and then I got a phone call in the year 2000, and I found out, I was told that I had a brother that was born in 1947 and that my parents gave him up for adoption
hmm.
at birth. And I grew up in a household with four sisters, and I was the only male sibling. And needless to say, uh, this information rocked my world. It was a 53-year-old family secret,
Wow.
and it had been held back from our family. And it was a little bit on the innocent side how we discovered it. But needless to say, um, all of a sudden things changed for me. I felt like I was living a lie, that
Wow.
the whole foundation of my family was broken. And to make matters worse, my father told one story and my mother told another.
Oh my God.
And
Mm-mm.
it put us in a situation of trying to choose what the truth was. And so, if some of you know pop culture, I felt like that I had grown up in the Leave It to Beaver family. And all of a sudden, I was living in a family that was married with children.
Oh my
Um,
God. Oh,
it was all of a sudden very dysfunctional. And so, as I started trying to maneuver life, I basically went down the rabbit hole, and I thought, sex, drugs, and rock and roll would heal me
mm,
in that moment, and of course that wasn't true. And
mm-mm.
I did what most any of you and your listeners would probably do, given the situation. I started talking to angels. I became a medium. I invented a crystal table for healing, and I walked away from my career of 33 years and started doing intuitive readings for love offerings. And if anyone is wondering at this point, yes, my wife stayed with me through the whole dang thing. And
But let me ask a little bit. During that time, when I'll just say that because you were not a young man
oh
when that
no,
happened.
oh no,
And so, it's a little bit different when you say drugs, alcohol, and that path, because you weren't like some youngster who found that out when they were in their 20s and kind of went off. Like you said, that rocked
Wow.
your whole family. You were, of age with some knowing, and like you said, you were ready to retire. You were
correct.
looking at retired. And now just to kind of go, but just want to experience that moment. Uh, did you blame anybody or the circumstances, or did you think you had something to really do with
Well, all the above.
it?
I went to my I went to my father at one point, and I sat down with him, and I said, "Look, I've never asked you for anything in my entire life, and I'm going to ask you for one thing. I want you to go to my mother and your wife and your ex-wife at that time." I said, "I want you and her to concoct a story. I don't care if it's the worst lie ever in the history of humans, and I want you to both tell us the same story because it's not fair.
Mm,
Our siblings are fighting with each other. We're trying to decide who's
wow.
right, and please do this for me." And he couldn't. He never
Oh
he
God.
never could he
Wow.
never could do a simple thing that I asked him to do. And
Mm-mm.
so, in answer to your question, what happened to me was through this process, I went through what some people would call an awakening. And I had this moment where
Mm,
I felt like my higher self disconnected from my lower self, and I was shown visions of heaven.
Hmm.
And it changed the game for me because all of a sudden, if any of you have experienced an awakening, what was up for me was I had to start taking responsibility for my part in the family. And I had to
Hmm.
start taking responsibility for all my relationships,
Hmm.
including the one with myself. And the ego is proficient. It's proficient at
Oh yeah.
denying responsibility.
Mm-mm.
And and that's what happened. I had this battle going on about how do I take responsibility in all my relationships, including the one with myself. And as part of this show, I would say that I had to rebuild every single one of my relationships, including my relationship with money.
Hmm.
And because all of a sudden I didn't have this lucrative job anymore. I was
Hmm.
just doing things, for whatever people wanted to give me for the service that I was providing.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to make sure that we don't step over something, and because it's just like, wow,
Mhm.
here it is, you're, I can, I was raised by my stepfather, and I've only seen my birth father, a few times, and um, when you say like the one thing you asked for, like you never asked for anything, the one thing, and he just couldn't do it.
yes,
And I have been in that space where I didn't really need to make a request of my father, but just like, hey, like, I don't even need or demand anything, but the connectedness, like there's something be there, like be in that off kind of space where it's like, oh man, it's like that. So I just didn't want to step over how deep that is, and
Mhm.
and also that you said when you started seeing the visions, and I think you used the term like heavenly visions.
correct.
That was, would you say that was the point that you started really seeing some a light of, let's say, hope, and you started taking some steps toward moving forward?
Absolutely. It brought me the peace that I had been seeking in the previous years over what had happened.
Mm,
And that peace was an essential part of my own transformation and my own standing up to take responsibility and to take action.
mm,
So it was a critical part. But I will just tell you that we searched for my brother for 11 years. And
mm,
we tried everything to find him. We tried bribery of public officials. We tried searches. We had our name on lists. We tried
mm,
everything. My father passed in 2009,
mm,
and we had come to terms with each other. Thank goodness, before he passed, I became his caregiver during his last days. But something very remarkable happened in 2011 because by that time we had basically given up. We had tried everything and we had resigned ourselves that we would probably never find him.
oh,
And then in a session that I was having with someone, an intuitive session, I did something very uncharacteristic. I've never done it before and I've never done it after. But my client was a young woman who was very dialed in, I could tell, and she started feeling shame because she didn't have much money to give me. And she said, "You gave me something priceless. And I don't have but a few dollars to give you. I'm feeling terrible." And I said, "Do you want to do something else in exchange?" And she kind of looked at me and said, "What do you got in mind?" And I said, "Well, um, tell me anything you can about my brother."
hmm,
And right then, her eyes rolled back in her head. She fell back in her chair. She went into a trance. And she started telling me all these different things about my family that no one else knew. And within 2 minutes, I said, "You're talking to my father." And she said, "Well, he is a stubborn man." And I said, "That's my
ah,
father. You got him all right." And she started telling me that my father was on it, that he was taking responsibility for being the father to my brother, and that he was working on it from behind the veil. And he started telling me things about my sister that nobody knew. And then 2 days later, my sister showed up on my doorstep unexpectedly from California. And I started telling her what happened. And I said, I don't know why I'm telling you this other than I know that we can't give up. We have to keep looking. We have to keep searching. And I'd given up. And two days later, she went to my sister's house in Dallas and she Googled the same pieces of information, the only two pieces of information we'd had. I'd Googled 1,000 times before myself, and up popped a page on Ancestry.com. And later that day, I spoke to my brother for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so my life started making sense as to why I became an intuitive, why I became a medium, because I was having a hard time making sense of my path. That did it for me, because if I had not taken that path, I feel like we might not have found him.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Now, Russell, that is just, it all, what you've been sharing with us has been a true blessing. And you've left me moved, touched, and inspired, by the hope, the spirit of hope that that just touched my heart. I'm sure it touched the hearts of many. Because how many times have we given up? A thousand Google searches, bang, all of that, and and the divine was working on it all along.
That's right.
That is just awesome. Now, we're going to hear a little bit more. Wow. From Russell on the second part of the interview, but right now I would like Russell. We had Nikki did a beautiful theme, the world you see. For some reason, it just lines up with what you just shared. Are there any words
Right.
of wisdom you'd like to share with our listeners from our theme, the world you see, when it comes to going beyond well-being?
Yes, I will tell you that one thing during this whole process that I realized was my part of this whole process, that I told you I felt like my life was a lie.
Hmm.
Well, basically, it was a lie because I was lying to myself. And what I mean by that is that I was always trying to dance around hard issues, and I was trying to please
Hmm.
everybody to the point where I lost my own self. I lost my own ability to be authentic. And the
Hmm.
way that worked was, in my mind, I would convince myself of a story. I would say, well, if I tell this person how I truly feel, then they will leave me. They will abandon me. They won't hear me. They will argue with me. They'll get mad. They'll do something that I don't like. And what I realized is, at this point in my life, that for the most part, those stories that I made up in my head were all just one big lie.
Hmm.
Because, as you said in my quote, I did not know the language of love. I did not know how to communicate my feelings in a way that not people didn't have to agree with me, but that they would accept that those were my feelings. And so I had to learn that language, and I had to stop lying to myself, and I had to tell people the truth, even in situations that it seemed hard. Emotions are not nice, and we have to understand that. And we have to understand that if we try to be nice all the time, then we don't create change and we don't transform ourselves. That's why I made the comment about Bernadette's comments to us. What she said wasn't nice, but she said it. She had the willingness to say it. And I would have used a different language myself. I would have tried to use more of a direct language that was honest. But What I call that I just described is soul attachments. We
Mm,
attach ourselves to a story, a belief, a thought process, a pattern, or another person. And that attachment restricts our energy, it limits us, and it doesn't allow us to be true and authentic.
mm, mm, mm. Wow, wow. Well, I thank you, Russell, and again, we're going to hear more from our guest, Russell Forsyth. And wow, Russell, I just thank you for being so open, unabashedly. Now we're going to take a
Yeah.
5 minute break. When we return, as we promised, more wow, more from Russell Forsyth, and the time is now 6:31. Please be back ready to start at 6:36. The break begins now. Oh, I am created whole in order to live free. At times, humans may make life more complicated by overthinking. No one has to remind the fish he is a fish or to swim in the sea. And no one tries to convince the fish he should be a dolphin or a seagull. The fish simply is. I am created whole. The innate pattern of my divine self is complete and has no flaw. My imprint is entirely unique and cannot be compared to any other pattern. I judge no one and focus on my ability to freely be who I came into this world to be. I do my best to align my thoughts and actions with my divine imprint. When voices in the world judge me or speak of my brokenness, I listen to the still, small voice within. Turning within, I hear the truth. I am created whole in order to live free. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. Psalm 131:16.
I'm about to jump ship. You took it overboard, overboard. I'm not tied to it. There's no way to win. Keeping score, yeah. You can go away forever. Take her on your way, whatever. I'm not the kind to waste time with you. Keeping broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. All the empty words you said, I'm chasing them all out my head. I'll be alright. This love is a love wasn't nice, but I thought that it was. No, keeping broken promises. Gonna take my time with this. Won't change my mind. You're broken promises. You're broken promises. You're broken promises. Make you eat your words. Lost my appetite. I'ma watch you burn. Love the way it hurts. I'll be fine, yeah. You can go away forever. Take her on your way, whatever. I'm not the kind to waste time with you. Keep it broken promises. I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. All the empty words you said, I'm chasing them all out my head. I'll be alright. This love wasn't ours, but I thought I'm not the kind to waste time with you. To you. Even broken promises, I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind. All the empty words you said, I'm chasing them all in my head. This world is lost with thought that it runs. No. Even broken promises, I'ma take my time with this. Won't change my mind.
Well, we have a little bit before the break ends, about 10 seconds here. So we are looking forward to the second part of the interview. If you are just getting here to the seminar, if you're just tuning in to the webinar, I'm going to tell you, you, you you've been missing stuff. So I hope you got the download so you can hit the rewind button because this has just been off the charts. And I think we had the Empress of Faith. Did I get her name right, Diva Nakia?
Yes,
Oh,
you
I'm
did.
glad I got her name. I hate getting Diva Nakia's name wrong, calling her Karen and Francis and Bernadette.
What?
All right, Diva Nakia, back to you and
All
Russell for part two of Going Beyond.
all right, all right, all right. Welcome back. I am Nakia, the Empress of Faith, and we're continuing our interview with Mr. Russell Forsyth on the second part of Going Beyond. Now, Mr. Russell, thank you so much for your open, authentic. It has been an eye opener and such an amazing share thus far.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Russell and listeners, in this segment, we will learn more about Russell and some of the challenges he faced in having the work of energy transformation present and alive for all people. So, Russell, please share the aha moment when you knew in your heart of hearts that being a healer, coach, and leader in the field of energy transformation was the right thing for you.
Well, I think there were several along the way. And one thing that I noticed when I first started doing the work is I was so excited about transformation and energy healing, energy balancing, that I wanted the same for everyone that I experienced for myself. And that didn't necessarily occur. So when someone didn't get everything I felt they needed from me, I would often feel disappointed. And so my work was to some way detach from the outcome of others and to understand my place in energy healing. I am not a healer, I'm a facilitator. And one of my greatest teachers, Dr. Marcel Vogel, an IBM scientist who did studies in the laboratory of love, he was a devout Catholic, and he once said, "There's no such thing as miracles. There's only our ability to connect with nature." And what he was saying, I think he did believe in miracles, by the way, but what he was saying was that we cannot look at our own healing as a miracle because then we put it out of touch for ourselves. We need to look at it as we all have an inherent ability to help others, or to tune into our own human nature and to create healing. So the feedback that I got from the people that I worked with has been the ongoing inspiration for me to help me know my place in their healing journey. And so I would say it was more of accumulation of things than a single aha moment. But when you get a story from someone that our work together helped do amazing things like reverse brain cancer, or I'm sorry, brain damage when the doctor said it was impossible, when a person heals from sickle cell anemia,
Wow.
when they've struggled with it their entire life, when someone says that they have reached a point in their life where they understand their life purpose and why they are here. Those little inspirations are what gives me an aha moment, almost on a daily basis.
Wow. Wow. That is so enlightening. And I just want to restate your point where you said you felt that they did not receive what you thought they should have received. And
Correct.
that in itself makes a bold statement about where you were in your commitment. And then really reflecting on how their outcome, whatever you started to stand for, what they received based on what they needed. And you took yourself out of the equation and really got present to their concerns and transformation in their lives, and the point that where they were at that moment, that's what they needed. And how the collection of communications and clarity and just really living off of the feedback in its entirety and not just that one moment. So I really get that. It's not always just that one moment. So thank you for sharing that.
Correct. Thank
So,
you.
oh, indeed, Mr. Russell. So, what circumstances or people challenge you in having the difference you make exceed all expectations? And what are you doing to overcome those obstacles?
Well, one thing I've realized is that you cannot fix a problem if you're holding the same consciousness that created that problem. And so I try to help people understand that in order to make shifts within themselves. But one thing that I've really had to learn is we live under universal laws, and we have to abide by those laws. Those laws are inescapable. And there are a couple I would point to. One is the law of patterns. Any pattern or habit, whether good or bad, despite our best intentions, will tend to reinsert itself, even the events of childhood. And so when we notice there's a pattern going on with us, we have to lift ourselves into a different space to be able to exert our influence to change that. The law of
Wow.
honesty, recognizing and accepting and expressing our own interior reality is what lies at the heart of honesty. And only when we are completely honest with ourselves can we be honest with other people. And then the last one that I'll share is the law of expectations, because this was a big one for me. I just mentioned I had an expectation with healing that I wanted everybody to have an immediate good outcome. And the analogy that I would use for this is, how many people go to Las Vegas with an expectation of losing money? And why do they expect to lose money? Well, because it's a coping mechanism. They want to have fun, they want to spend money. They don't want to be disappointed by the fact that they lost money. But I know people that go to Las Vegas expecting to win money, and they come back with a lot of money in their pocket. And I think this is something that's worth our own look at. It's more than just holding positive thoughts and trying to be positive all the time. It's like looking at ourselves and say, what do we expect? And if that expectation is something negative, are we creating a self-fulfilling prophecy by expecting the worst to happen? And can we find the courage to let go of that and to know that we can cope with whatever life throws us? And so we're going to expect more from ourselves, more from others, and more from the world.
Wow. How awesome. Thank you for breaking it down.
You're welcome.
I'm just really allowing that moment to get what you just shared and be present with that. Because many of us, including myself, I'm sure, have not even considered the universal law,
Mm.
what that means.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, I think we
So,
all have patterns that were established in our childhood,
yeah,
and we've all noticed that those are hard to change. And so
Mhm.
we have to exert some sort of influence on a pattern in order to change it. And that influence can be raising our vibrations. It can come through in a variety of ways, but mostly it takes action. And
Mhm.
if we don't take action, that's really our conscious decision not to take action. So
Mm.
when there's something inside that's causing tension or distress or disharmony, that's our sign from the universe that there's something in front of us that we need to take action on. And once we have that awareness, then it just, comes down to making the determination what that is.
that is so revealing, and that is so in line with the work that we do here with the Prosperous Divas. And that's why we emphasize you have to do the work fully. In order for transformation to occur, you have to do the work, take the actions necessary. You can't just listen in and feel like it's going to make a difference. I know. I've been there, done that. So I'm in the middle of the work. So absolutely. Thank you for sharing it, and thank you for the elaboration beyond that as well. So, would you be willing to share with us a disappointment that involved working with others that still have you shake your head? Now, I know we talked about your commitment to their outcome, but something beyond that, where you may have been working with a client or whatever it was that brought forth a disappointment that really impacted you, that when you reflect on it every now and then, it still has you shaking your head.
Well, I would just share something fairly recent where I had someone that I'd worked with a couple of years ago, and we were having a conversation, and they said something about me that I felt like was untrue. And basically, they accused me of sending them a message asking them for more money. And since everything I do is on an equal energy exchange, it allows everyone to name their price. And when they were, very strong that they clearly remembered me doing this, it really threw me because I thought, number one, why would they think that about me? Because that's not in my nature, and I felt like they knew me well enough to not resonate with that as a truth. And so it bothered me. It kept me up at night, wondering why such a thing was being presented and imposed on me. So what I did was I took action. I went back into my records. I went back to all my emails. And what I found out was the session where the person accused me of asking for more money. I went back and I found out that they had never paid me a dime on the
Oh,
session. And
oh
I
wow.
also found the email that said, um, I didn't write this in all my emails, but on their particular email, under the exchange link where they pay me, I put, pay me whenever you can. And
Oh,
so I realized that their memory had really failed. And so I was able to contact them and to show them where their memory was not correct. And, um, we had exchanged some pretty tense emails around this subject. And when I pointed it out, this person realized they were in the wrong and they apologized to me. But if I had not been responsible enough to keep good records and to take action, it would have been left unresolved, and I would have had a broken link in that relationship.
Yeah, I get that. Wow. Yeah, that would definitely still have me shaking my head. And it was awesome that, like you say, you had that evidence to show differently, so you were able to heal that relationship as well. Awesome. So now, if you don't mind, please share a specific moment where your efforts and the memories of the work you and others did still brings a smile to your face.
um, well, I had a client who was brought to me by her neighbor. Actually, a couple of neighbors loaded her up in a vehicle because she was near death, according to them and her. She couldn't
Mm.
walk. She was very broken from an elevator accident she'd been in 3 years prior. And she couldn't walk without braces. She was in constant pain. She had brain damage, which meant that her eyes wouldn't dilate, so she couldn't look at computers or watch a television. She couldn't drive a car at night. She couldn't see, 10 feet in front of her face. She was very in a very bad way, and so I did one energy treatment with her, and in that energy session, I found some issues that were significant with her. And I did the energy treatment, and then she left. And 3 days after our treatment, she woke up. She felt her back pop all the way up her spine.
Wow.
She didn't feel pain in her body. She took off her braces and walked down the street for the first time in 3 years on her own. That night, she saw the stars for the first time in 3 years. And over a 6-month period, she recovered completely to the point where she got off her brain medication for seizures. She
Wow.
started holding down a regular, she was able to get employment and hold down a regular job, which she was really broke when she came to see me. Um, and she's living a pretty normal life right now. And so I think of her in that one story, and it just, makes me feel good. But I know one thing is it wasn't me that did it. I
Mhm.
was just the facilitator. It was the energy of love that did that, the connection to God or source or universal conscious. However you frame love, there's a feeling called love that we have, that we feel towards another person, but there's an energy called love. The energy of love is what we draw from God, from our family. When I ask people, what's your energy of love, the most common three answers I get: where do you draw in energy that fills you with love? The common answers I get in this order are God, dog, and family. And, the reason is that the fourth one is nature. So what I try to do is help people identify is what fills you with love, and that's your happy place, and that's what will heal you and your own natural ability to heal.
Wow. Wow. I know that when you speak of love, what brought her healing, she had a community around her that brought her to you, in addition to the love of God and the love of herself. And that is so awesome. How can you repay anybody for life in itself?
Right.
Well,
I
I'll tell
mean, you
you,
can't.
I'll share one more thing with you about it that I thought was really interesting, because I wonder why someone like that gets the results they do and someone else doesn't get the results. And so I was able to ask her a question. I said, can you tell me anything about what you, because I still get a text from her every year on the anniversary of her healing, is what she calls it. And I said, what can you tell me about what happened to you when your neighbors scooped you up. She said, Russell, she said, all I can say is when they pulled up in front of your house with me, in my mind, I said, today's the day that God heals me, and Russell's going to be the one that does it. So
Mm.
what I say, it was her faith that
Mhm.
provided the opening we needed for her to surrender and completely open to the love from the neighbors, the love from me, the love from God that she had been seeking for so long. So she had to reach that place.
Mm. And there's so many biblical scriptures where just the mustard seed faith, just the faith in itself,
Mhm.
healing by touching God's garment. Oh Lord. Okay, so yes, I am present to the communication. Yes. So moving to our next question, being considerate of time, Russell, please share 3 pitfalls you have seen people fall into when it comes to being consistent in their actions for going beyond well-being in terms of their health, wealth, mind, and spirit.
Well, yeah, that's a big question. One, I would say thinking that you know something when you really don't know it at all. You know, when we think we've got it all figured out, and we're doing what I was referring to earlier, is we're making stories in our own mind. The
Mm-hmm.
inability, the second one is the inability to maintain personal boundaries. Is a lot of people out there develop a martyr complex that they are here to save the world, and they do it at the expense of their own mind, body, and spirit.
Mhm.
And when I talk about personal boundaries, number one, if you don't have good boundaries with yourself, if you don't respect yourself, if you're not honest with yourself, if you
Mm.
don't um, um, if you don't respect yourself enough to say no to demands on your time, you're going to deplete your energy, and you're not going to be good to anyone else. And then the other thing is that a lot of people mismanage their own life force energy. And that's the
Mhm.
energy that pulses through us. It's the energy that creates healing. It's the energy that connects us to love and connects us to source. It is an essential energy. The doctors say and scientists say that when a person dies, they lose 6 ounces of weight. And this is consistent with every single person. This is, to some people, the soul or the spirit, but this is the life force energy. Without life force energy, your body immediately starts to decay. So people that are
Mhm.
sick or ill usually have depleted life force energy. And so I've come up with ways to help people maintain balance with their own life force energy. And it's very simple things that we all can do. But if
Mhm.
we don't care about ourselves enough to do it, then we're going to suffer the consequences of what we do today. Our bodies will show that to us in 30 years from today. So what we
Hmm.
do today has a consequence.
Absolutely. Woo! I thought you were talking to me specifically. I heard all in my space. I was like, ooh, well, all right then. Like, no, too much in my. You all in my energy space. Ooh, I need to. No, stop. Woo, because I can't be a yes for you if I'm not a no first. All right.
That's right.
All right. Awesome.
That's personal
So,
boundaries.
absolutely. Gotta get. Would you please share with us a few practices you use daily to keep going beyond well being, stay in action, and focus on the results you intend to produce? Come on now, keep talking to me. Come on, Russell.
Okay. Okay. I practice what I call mindfulness. And mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present and aware of where we are, what we're doing, and not being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on. It's a pretty straightforward word, and it means that the mind is fully attending to what's happening, to what you're doing, and to the space you're moving through. It might seem trivial, except for that little annoying fact that we so often veer from the matter at hand in the present moment. Our mind takes flight, we lose touch with our body, and pretty soon we're engrossed in obsessive thoughts about something that just happened or fretting about the future. And that leads to, guess what? Something our society suffers from in large numbers. It's called anxiety. And so
Mm.
to increase and balance life force energy, we practice mindfulness. We stay aware. We stay present. We focus on our breath and our body. We hold gratitude, which is an expression in itself. It's giving thanks. And when we're being in gratitude about the things going on in our life, we're not focusing on the things that are going wrong in our life. And so
Mhm.
brilliant solutions can come forward. Because if we're focusing on what's negative, we're leaking energy, we're depleting our energy.
Mm.
Daydreaming, it's like mind mapping. It helps us organize our thoughts to bring creative energy to solutions that we're seeking. Daydreaming brings hope. It brings inspiration through a momentary disconnect from the problems in life. So do some daydreaming and notice how your life force energy rises within. Having good nutrition is important, and we all know that, but food carries a vibration. And for example, fruits and vegetables carry the highest vibration, but food is like people. It's all different. We have to choose our food, and sometimes that's intuitively. We exercise, which means combining breath and allowing a diaphragmatic process of consuming life force energy through the air we breathe. That's right, the air we breathe carries life force energy. So anything that gets us breathing is important for life force energy. Sleep. A lot of people don't realize that how important sleep is to restoring our mind, our body, and our spirit, because all systems shut down and our life force energy is restored when we sleep. Some people lie to themselves and say, oh, I don't need as much sleep as the other person. And that might be true in some cases, but in most cases, our body thrives on sleep. We actually do better and live longer. And then the last two would be chiropractic. When our bodies are straight and our structure is in alignment, we have more flow of our life force energy. So when we're slumped over in a chair or we're walking with our head down, we're really not providing the channels of energy to flow adequately enough to keep our energy up. And then last is what I do, energy healing. Everybody can benefit from a little bit of balancing of their energy. I use sound, magnets, light, crystal therapy, and a few other combination of modalities to help people open up their energy channels and to keep their life force energy flowing.
Wow. You you have given us so much food for thought to really daydream about. I like that.
I do too.
And maintain our mindfulness concerning our health and well being, not just mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health, just our full being as a human being, being human. Wow. I almost forgot what I was going to ask you, but I got it. All of it. You are just so amazing, so awesome, and you're so full of life and so full of the ability to just share information that anyone and everyone can utilize. Um, so, what would you have? What do you have? I'm sorry. What do you have on your plate? And how can our participants learn more about the projects and activities you are involved in?
Well, 11 years ago, I started doing something that I thought might last a couple of weeks, but I was wrong. I started doing a weekly channeled message from the angels. It's called Angel Whispers. It comes out every Sunday morning, and I have people that say they just value seeing that in their mailbox. All you have to do is go to my website and sign up, and you'll get a free channeled message in your mailbox. I usually take a subject, I give my little Russell spin on it, and then I get what I can from source to understand the subject better. And I'd be happy for anybody that wants to receive that to sign up for that. It comes out every Sunday morning at 5:55 a.m. like clockwork. I also have developed an intuitive training program dealing with 21 subjects in the metaphysical, and it's for energy healers, but it's also for personal growth and anybody that wants to grow their intuitive skills. I just revised that program. It's about 12 to 1300 pages on PDFs and over 170 tutorial videos. And it's on a free membership platform where we do drip content. So we occasionally release free content to the membership. There's no obligation whatsoever. If you're interested in one of the training modules, you just make a purchase and it comes onto your member homepage, and you get to learn a little bit, hopefully, about yourself. And that's called the IEL Institute for the Spiritual Arts. IEL means Intuit, the energy of love. It's an acronym. And a lot of angelic names end with IEL. So it's what drives me to do my work and connect with the angelic realm. And that training program, like I say, just went through a revision, and it's available right now.
Awesome. Now, is there a specific website or contact information you would like to share at this moment so we can make sure that the audience, the listeners, or our platform is able to reach out to you?
Yeah, you can go to russellforsyth.com, and it's RUSSELL FORSYTH.com. You can book a session with me on the homepage. I can do a complete 40-point energy assessment and help you understand anything that's a block or an issue or a disharmony in your system energetically. I have an automatic booking system. You can go right online and book your session, or you can email me and tell me a little bit about what's going on. And that will also link you to the other website, the IEL Institute for the Spiritual Arts, and that's the website name. And me and my lovely wife also operate a healing product store that we carry a special pendant that boosts your energy field, and that's called Crystal Light and Sound. And all of that's available from my main website.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Russell, for all of your sharing, just being present with us in this moment. You know, it could have been any you yourself are present with us, and that divine connection in itself is priceless. Thank you for being transparent and authentic and honest with us. Thank you for giving us food that will take us and nourish us and allow us to really share with our platform, our community, about what's available to us to get recentered or even more grounded than where we already are or where we've been, or just get realigned. So you have given us a plethora of information and of knowledge to take on to, and I know our audience is grateful for your sharing and your willingness to just come forth and bring information that maybe they were not aware of, maybe they are aware of, maybe they needed that to share it with someone else. And that's why we're here. And you are a part of this prosperity, wealth, and health mindset that we have. So at this moment, is there anything else that you wanted to say? And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the Divas and find out their thoughts. Russell?
Oh, no, I just want to say thank you for inviting me and giving me a platform to share these things about myself. I always appreciate that opportunity. I enjoyed your show and your own sharings. here today. So I just want to say thank you for the invite. Thank you, Robin, and thank you all for opening to what I have to say and share today.
And don't leave us. We still have a little
Beautiful.
bit left. And thank your wife for allowing us to have a moment of your time. So,
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Diva Robin, would you like to share your thoughts?
I would. I have known, Russell, I have known you for quite some time, and I've experienced your work over the years. And not only have I found it powerful, but it seems like every time I return to you for something new, you've moved to a whole new level of your own growth and the development in your practice of more and more powerful skills and more deeply loving and you are the real deal. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for making yourself available this evening to share your journey, your humanity, and your wisdom with all of us.
Thank you,
I
Robin.
very much appreciate you.
Thank you, Diva Robin. Diva Janice, would you like to say anything or share?
Yes, I would. Thank you. What I find so refreshing is his humble spirit that is so inviting to allow people, number one, to calm themselves so they can be open to hear what has to be shared that would impact their world. As a person of faith, most certainly I understand many of the principles that he utilizes in his practice in terms of engagement with people. And I would just encourage anyone, what he's basically saying is that you have to come to your fork in the road and be authentic with your path and be honest with yourself and the divine, because that's what's going to carry you to the next dimension in life. And when we are on true to the process, we'll never be able to be fruitful in life, no matter what our aspirations are, no matter how much energy we bring to the table. It comes down to being authentic and honoring the principles that are before us. Number one, we got to give others what we want to receive, and we have to respect time. And there was just so much stuff he said that I can just layer on so many levels. What he's in essence is he's really saying is we have to respect life. We have to respect the time that we've been allotted, our gifts, our talents, and do something in the time, the Kairos moment that we've been given, in order to make positive strategy happen. Otherwise, we're spinning our wheels. I'm very appreciative, Russell, to have this opportunity to listen and to garner from your life experiences and your journey. And most certainly, I know the audience, those who are willing to put the work in, they're going to find on the other side of all of this, there's a reward, if you will, that's just waiting to embrace them, because they did what was responsible. They did what they were supposed to do in order to get to where they need to be in the next dimension in life. So I'm just privileged to hear what you had to share. Thank you.
And thank you so much.
Thank you, Janice. So, Diva Jacqueline, would you like to share, my love?
Did we get her?
I thought
No,
she was
I
present.
think Diva Jacqueline is still stuck in traffic.
Okay. I thought okay, not a problem. So we love you, Jacqueline. So, Diva Nikki, honey, what would you like to say?
Too much for our time frame. So in honor and respect of the time that we have, I am just so grateful that we have had this session and this experience with Russell. And so much of what you said was a confirmation for where I am and some decisions that I've recently made about my energy and things of that nature. And the discussion. And even when you spoke earlier, when you were like, emotions are not nice. They don't have to be nice, to be shared. And and all of it, your authenticity in love. Like Diva Janice said, you can hear the humility and the love just coming through you, and it's not just the words. You can truly hear that energy and feel it. So I'm just grateful for having you here and all that you've shared, and looking forward to seeing and hearing more of you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, Diva Nikki. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. Ronnie B for being present. And Russell, I would like to say that it's been a while since I have truly been touched, moved, and inspired by a guest or by engagement with another human being, and engaging in a conversation that is so clear, so pure, so authentic, and just transparent. And I can see your genuineness and your authenticity in your desire to be present for other people and to give back, and also having the mindset to understand your role, your position. And that's a challenge for myself, and it's a challenge for so many people. And in time, we will all get there. That is my hope, my desire, and that is my pursuit. So thank you so very much again for your presence, for your time, for your genuineness, and for your transparency. So we would like to invite you, Russell, to say, as I said, for the finale, understand if you need to leave, we truly, truly, truly appreciate you being here, and the impact that you've made on each of us will never go unnoticed nor be forgotten. We are taking a 5-minute break where we will return with Diva Robin with the Energy, Integrity, Power Builder and the finale.
Your good fortune. You cannot possibly be aware of all the things you have to be thankful for, but don't let that stop you from trying. There are many factors that add great value to your life that you'll never know about. You are the beneficiary of thousands of years of cumulative progress. Most of the details of how that progress was made have been lost to history. Yet the benefits of that progress continue to this day and are always growing. Be thankful for all the things you know to be thankful for, and be thankful for all those good things that make life better that you don't even know about. Sure, there are still many difficult problems, challenges, and tragedies. Yet, those negative things occur within an overall context of goodness, possibility, and great opportunity. Gratitude enables you to experience more of that goodness, to access more opportunities. Be thankful and reap the full benefit of good fortune that's been coming your way longer than you can imagine.
You're buying me things I hate. I'm standing in line. What's the choice? Take a hint. It's not too late. I don't want you here anymore. I don't want you here anymore. No. You're my motorcycle gone. Cops right here, but I don't want you. Last time I never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. He compliments me so backhanded. I don't need someone like him. I have to deal with my own problems. I don't want you here anymore. I don't want you here anymore. Oh, you're my little vagabond. Stops right here, but I want you. That's not, I'll never get that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. You're my little vagabond. Stops right here, but I want you. That time I'll never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. You're my little vagabond. Stops right here, but I want you. That time I'll never get back. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that. I'm the only one to ever love you like that.
Wow. Nice track from Lace. That's Laice. In case you wondered who provided the music for this session. Now we are about to wrap it up with the finale. You have about 30 seconds to finish that glass of water, get comfortable, strap your seat belt in for a last go round of transformation. And we're moving this part over to who is the finale? And the
It's me.
finale is
It's
with
me.
it's her, Diva Robin. Yay! Take it
Somewhat.
away.
Somewhat.
Take it away.
All right. Well, thank you. I am Diva Robin, and we're going to have a conversation for the basic building block of energy, which is, drum roll please, integrity. The
Brum.
basic building block of energy is integrity. We are going to borrow a distinction for integrity that we align with. Integrity. This is going to be a little surprising. The state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. Again, integrity, the state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. Going beyond well-being at a basic level requires extraordinary integrity. So if you notice, our distinction is not about moral integrity or right and wrong. We are talking about a framework for integrity that allows for freedom and full self-expression with your being exactly who you are. If you look at the usual view of integrity, it's probably seeing it from the point of view of morality. By morality, we mean, well, you know you're a good person and your actions are consistent with being a good person. And that's great. And yet we are shifting to look at integrity through the lens of what we call workability. Workability. So rather than looking at it from the point of view of morality, like right and wrong, we're looking at it through the lens of workability. To illustrate what this means, An example is that a submarine has airtight integrity when it works properly. If there are leaks, they are not good or bad in themselves, but the submarine does not work properly. And we know what happens with an improperly working submarine, right? It doesn't stay in operation, and it doesn't take care of the people within it.
Glub.
Glub, glub, glub is right. The submarine isn't bad in the moral sense, like shame on that submarine. It just doesn't work right. And so it can be said to lack integrity. So anything that has integrity is whole and complete, and it works. So in going beyond well-being, we want to be relentless in our pursuit to find the areas where integrity is missing or leaking. So one way we can access the leaks is to look at where we have complaints that will not disappear. I'm going to give you that again. One of the ways that we can access the leaks is to look at where we have complaints that persist, complaints that will not disappear. That's where something is off in the integrity, where there's a leak. So guess what? We have an assignment for you. Yay! Yippee! I'll bet you're clapping your hands and jumping up and down where you are.
They thought they were
So
going to go the whole session with no assignment.
Not a chance. Who do you think we are? We know that assignments are what makes this work, right? So here's where you're going to start. You're going to create the following 3 categories. And the categories are, I feel like a game show host right here, self-expression, wholeness, prosperity. Those are the 3 categories. Self-expression, wholeness, prosperity. Under each category, answer this question. What do I desire that I do not have or is not at the level of fulfillment I seek? So that will mean in the area of self-expression. In the area of self-expression, what do I desire that I do not have or is not at the level of fulfillment I seek? Regarding wholeness, same question. Regarding prosperity, same question. Next, under each response, you're going to answer this question. What, and this is a long question, what have I been resisting, putting up with, trying to change, or given up that anything's ever going to be happening, and about which I complain or suffer in silence? And why do I say complain or suffer in silence? Because suffer in silence is a type of complaining. So I'm going to give you that one more time. What have I been resisting, putting up with, trying to change, or have given up that anything's ever happening? And about which I complain or suffer in silence. Keep a daily log or post daily on Facebook any results or insights, and please share them with the Prosperous Divas. So all of what you're answering to those questions, put those in a daily log, post daily on Facebook, any of the insights and results you have, and please share with the Prosperous Divas, in particular, the results or insights. So, I want to give everyone kind of a minute, a brief minute to just catch up and get your notes in order. I want to give one final thank you to Russell for being our honored and delightful, insightful guest, and turn this now over to Diva Nikki for the finale. Take it away, Diva Nikki.
All right. Great job there, Diva Robin. So,
thank you.
This has been an awesome session. Before we go, let me check in with the other divas and get their final thoughts about this session. And I'm going to start with Diva Janet.
Thank you. Well, for me, the bottom line is no matter what we're trying to do in life, we have to go back and connect with our divine source. And there is one divine source that provides all the resources that we will ever need to implement and apply to every aspect of our lives so that we can fulfill our divine destiny in the earth, be it people, ideologies, or any other method whereby we are challenged to develop and evolve, and most certainly to recognize that we are divinely assigned in every season to manifest that which glorifies the Creator. I just think it was very poignant that Russell pointed out just very practical things that people need to implement in their daily practices. And we can do many things in life. We can be very busy. We can be very productive. We can even be successful. I just personally challenge our listeners to go back to what the divine is saying to us in all that we're doing in every season so that we're relevant. And therefore, we're open to hear great minds and ideologies such as from Ronnie B. and Diva Nikia and Nikki and Robin and Janice, that we're open when we're connected to our divine source so that we can be relevant and productive. Because at the end of the day, we all have to give an account of what has been assigned to us and what we've done with our gifts and our talents. The people that we have been blessed to encounter, did we empower them or did we diminish them, is going to be what we really are measured by, because everybody's hanging on to somebody else's word. Somebody else is moving forward because they heard you move forward and how you got through it and the people that you connected to. So, in essence, at the end of the day, are we doing the will of the divine? And are we open to his messengers, be it male or female? It can be through a bird chirping in the tree. It doesn't matter to me, but God is saying something. Are we in tune? And I just think tonight was really a very graceful moment, if you will. I don't have any other term other than to say it was a very graceful moment, because most certainly it was packed with a lot of love and passion and thoughtfulness. And I trust that our listeners are motivated to move beyond where they were prior to this day. That's what I have to offer.
You offer so much, so eloquently, sliding through here. Thank you. Next, I'm going to go over to our Empress of Faith, Diva Nikia. What do you have to share about tonight's session?
Thank you. I shared throughout the session this evening, my words have not changed, nor have my thoughts. I there were certain sections where he was really speaking to me, and that's when you have this unction that says, "Girl, get your life." And you know what the show this evening goes to show our listeners with the flat platform that we have, we utilize it for the betterment of all. It's not targeted to one type of person, one group, one sector, one class, one race, one anything. It's for everyone who's willing to listen, anyone who's willing to be open, anyone who's willing to do the work, anyone who's willing to look through the mirror, look into the mirror, look through and beyond the yellow sunglasses that has us in our always already listening mode. We've already analyzed everything. We've already came to our own conclusions, and nobody can tell us anything because there's so much information out there that we have no idea is available to us and for us. So I have gratitude towards everyone who's participated tonight. Mr. Russell for being willing to share, Mr. Ronnie for just being willing to invite him on as a guest and allow us to get fed. When I say us, inclusive with everyone in our audience as well as the divas. So I look forward to our future communications, future shows, and all that we have to offer and give back to our community. So share the information, share the website, share the contact information of our guests, and get involved, get invested, get in the know, and get your life. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a hashtag word for the week. Get your life.
That's been got
that. I'd like to also give our guest, if he's still with us. Russell, are you still with us?
He had to go.
Okay. So I'm going to give Diva Robin a chance to share what she got from tonight's session, her final words.
Oh, gosh. Thank you. Tonight's session was so rich, and I am blown away by the power of this launching of Beyond Wellbeing. It was kind of a dream of mine for us to do this topic, so I'm extra excited about it, and also to I was so thrilled that there was a great connection with Russell and that he made it work to come and be with us because, like as you all noticed, he is so humble and available and human, and with the work that he does and the results that he produced, it's not a given that he would be like that. And I'm not surprised that he would come and be with us, given his generosity, and he has so much to offer. It has been an honor and a privilege, and I say that the first layer of the foundation, the fundamental foundation of integrity, has been laid, and we are off and running on an amazing journey beyond well-being.
I agree. Well, I co-sign everything that you all said. And while you're snickering, Ronnie B, do you have any insight or any final words before we wrap the session up?
The young lady who sent in the email with the expletive, deleted words, thank you, because no one, No one, absolutely no one writes to us who's not getting value.
Mhm.
And no one says things about us if they're not listening.
Mhm. Right.
Because I've noticed that people have a habit of things that they don't like to listen to, they turn the channel. So I get that she's getting value in her own divine way. And oftentimes we don't let people get the value they way. We want them to get the
Right.
value our way. So thank you for getting the value your way. And keep listening. And if you hate my voice or you think they're phony, keep listening and keep getting value your way. Uh,
That's
the
right.
other
Get your
the
life.
other thing is that I really like there's something that Russell said, and it's something that Janice says almost every session, and it's about doing what is assigned to you, not what
Mhm.
you think you should be doing what's
Mhm.
actually assigned to you. And uh, no can be a beautiful word. So that's what I'm saying. Well,
Mm.
the other thing is that uh, Nakia, uh, you are awesome at interviews. And I've known you from doing interviews for Grow Your Mind and Money. And it's just like, wow, put you in front of an interview, and that just all comes back. And I know that if there's an interview next week, you will bring that because there's a way that we do interviews, and you are at the top.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. I appreciate that.
Yep. I
Acknowledge.
didn't have to interject one time.
I was waiting on you.
Not one. Oh, I'm going, she got good. That's all. Nikki, take it over.
Well, thank all of you. We honor each person participating in our seminars, everyone, however we participate, fully. We know if you're listening to us and doing the work, we know if you're doing it, you are forwarding the day when all women can live to their fullest potential, fully self express, and the dignity they deserve. We honor the challenges you face, whether it is being a great mom or opening your first business. Your courage and determination keeps us strong. Your sharing has us stay straight and do the work. So our structure for existence, we have a couple of ways for you to stay in the conversation for living wealthy beyond well-being. The fun begins. Number one, being at our next session, which is Living Wealthy Beyond Well-Being, the fun begins session 2. That's next week, the 29th, July 29th, from 5 p.m. to approximately 7 p.m. approximately Central Standard Time. Visiting popularedivas.com and receiving our free 4-part series, Recognizing Winning Conversations That No Longer Work. Again, I said that was free. Visiting popularedivas.com and receiving Diva Inspiration. That's a weekly newsletter with insights into the world of prosperous thinking from none other than myself, Nakia, and Diva Jackie. Now, visiting us also on Facebook and posting on facebook.com/prosperous divas. Our honored guest tonight, Mr. Russell Forsyth. You can get back in touch with him again on what is it?
RussellForsyth.com.
www.russellforsyth.com. Yes. And hold it. Diva Jackie is not here with us today to tell you how you can continue on with her. Does anyone remember her information right offhand? Mind? Hello? Okay, back to CostaDivas.com. Diva Janice, what is happening
ma'am.
at powerfornow.com?
Oh my goodness! Thank you for asking.
We know it's about your honey wellness.
Oh gosh, is it ever? You know what I realized even more today? To whom much is given, much is required. So right now we're working on two things. We're still doing our project in Africa. Thank God, and I'm so appreciative to all of the women who supported the sanitary napkin project. It's called the Dignity Project in Africa for young girls in Africa, so we can help them stay in school because of the stigma there regarding girls, just going through a biological function. And we took on a project in India that came to our forefront, and we're dealing with the humanitarian aspect of this project in terms of providing food. Next, we're going to go into providing material for reading, especially for the young girls. We want our girls to have a love of reading. This is something that is so passionate to my heart, not to take up too much time, because girls who are introduced to worlds through literature are so broadened in their approach to life. Even when they don't have the resources to get there physically, they're already there psychologically and emotionally. And I want to continue to be a part of that conversation. And I invite the ladies and also men. You have daughters too. I know many men listen to the show. You have daughters too. We want to empower women through literature. I promise you, it makes a difference. So this is what's going on at power4now.com. And thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing again and keeping us connected, Diva Janice. You can also visit, absolutely, you can also visit Nikia, the Empress of Faith, at appointedtimeforyou.com. Empress, what else do you want the people to know about your activity?
Yes, well, also, I am in financial services and a licensed life insurance agent. And if you need any information or would like to contact me, you can reach me at 713-598-3740. And you can also send me communications at nfranklin, FRANKLIN, .41B as in boy, X as in X-ray, C as in Charlie, at primerica.com. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And Diva Robin.
All right. Thank you. You can see my art on robinjamison.com, ROBYNJAMISON.
Good
you can
art.
email me
Really nice
for.
art.
Say that again?
Good art. Really nice art.
Good art. Thank you.
Kind of art you need to buy.
Yes, definitely. Or show if you own a gallery. Let's see. So that's where to see my artwork. To reach me directly, email me at robinartist, ROBYNARTIST. I'm all about coaching people so that their life becomes a work of art. And then I also want to give a pre-warning that I have a book coming out soon that I've co-authored with Rabbi Rain Teller. The title is I Was Never Broken. And she is a former coaching client of mine. She's now a dear friend. In fact, she conducted my wedding. And we've written a book about her experience, her journey through being coached when I was her coach. It's not available yet, but we've finished it, and it's about to go to the publisher. And that's it. And I look forward to hearing from you. Anyone who's interested in anything that I do.
Thank you again. Ronnie B, we never ask you, but is there a place that you'd like us to connect with you?
Just visit me at oldgrumpyradio.com and
And you are the least grumpy person I know. It's so funny. I've never seen you grumpy. Ever.
Well, without Old Grumpy Radio Network, there'd be no Prosperous Divas, Appointed Time for Now, and a few other things. So we have to kind of say thank you to the grandpappy.
Yes, absolutely. Even though you're never grumpy.
Yes, he is, but we love him.
Yes, he is. Okay.
This is Diva Nikki. You can check me out on Facebook at Narcissist Nikki Taplin. And also, I am currently right now not taking on any more clients or builders in my wealth building program. I am back into study and coaching and mentoring myself. But I will periodically give tips as I am allowed to. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
For more information about our workshops and seminars, visit us at prosperousdivas.com. Tonight's Prosperous Divas were none other than Miss Janice Hollis, Diva Robin Jameson, the Empress of Faith Nikhil Franklin, and of course our special guest Russell Forsyth, and myself, Nikki Taplin, and you know we will not forget Ronnie B. Please enjoy the performance at the end of the seminar tonight. See you next week, and remember, Prosperous Divas said, prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone. See you next week.